In the gentle embrace of the Varenthus Valley, where the dawn painted the grasslands with hues of amber and the river sang soft melodies to the ancient earth, there lived a small band of people, the Sereth, some 12,000 years ago. Among them was Lyrian, a woman whose days wove a quiet tapestry of survival, connection, and wonder in a world untamed and raw. The Sereth knew neither cities nor metal, nor the weight of walls. Their lives were bound to the rhythms of the land, and Lyrian's hands, steady and sure, carried the heartbeat of her people. Lyrian's mornings began with the first blush of light as the sun crept over the valley's rim. She rose from her bed of woven grasses, softened by hides of deer her brother had hunted, and stepped into the cool air, her breath mingling with the mist. Her tunic, sewn from antelope hide and adorned with beads of bone and river shell, swayed as she moved. Her first task was to tend the hearth, the heart of the camp, where embers from the night's fire still glowed. She knelt, coaxing the flames back to life with dry twigs and a breath as gentle as a whisper, for fire was their warmth, their safety, their story-keeper. The other women, her sister Mara, her aunt Vera, and old Tilsa with her knowing eyes, joined her, their voices low, sharing dreams and plans as the camp stirred. With the fire alive, Lyrian joined the women together. They walked the valley's edge, baskets of woven reeds slung over their shoulders, their eyes sharp for the gifts of the earth. Lyrian knew the land's secrets, where the wild barley grew thick, where bitterroot hid beneath the soil, where berries stained the bushes red. Her fingers, calloused but nimble, plucked leaves of sage for healing and dug tubers with a sharpened stick. Sometimes she paused to watch a hawk circle above, its cry a reminder of the spirits that watched over them. The women sang as they worked, their voices rising and falling like the river's flow, songs of the earth, of ancestors, of the deer that gave their lives so the Sereth might live. These songs were Lyrian's inheritance, passed from mother to daughter, binding the women in a thread stronger than sinew. Midday brought the hunt, though Lyrian's role was often to prepare rather than pursue. The men, led by her cousin Torin, tracked antelope or boar, their spears tipped with flint napped by Lyrian's deft hands. She was skilled at shaping stone, striking flakes with a river rock to craft blades sharp enough to slice hide or bone. While the hunters were away, Lyrian and the women readied the camp. She stretched hides over wooden frames to dry, scraping them clean with a flint scraper until they were soft as a child's cheek. Marrow wove reeds into mats, while Vera ground seeds into meal with a smooth stone, the rhythm of her work a quiet drum. Lyrian's youngest sister, little Siren, toddled nearby, clutching a doll of twisted grass, her laughter a spark that warmed them all. When the hunters returned, their arms heavy with game, the camp came alive. Lyrian helped butcher the antelope, her knife slicing with care to honor the animal's spirit. The meat was shared, some roasted over the fire, its scent mingling with the sagebrush air. Some dried for the lean days ahead. The bones were saved for tools, the sinew for thread, the hide for clothing. Nothing was wasted, for the Sarathan knew the land's gifts were precious. That evening, as the stars emerged, the band gathered around the fire. Torin told of the hunt, his hands tracing the boar's path in the air,
while Tilsa sang of the stars, her voice weaving tales of spirits who danced in the sky. Lyrian, sitting close to Mara, added her voice to the song, her fingers tracing patterns in the dirt, circles and lines that mirrored the constellations above. Lyrian's days were not without toil, but they were rich with purpose. She was a healer, too, taught by Tilsa to soothe fevers with willow bark and mend wounds with poultices of yarrow. When Siren fell ill with a cough, Lyrian sat by her side through the night, humming softly, crushing herbs by the fire's glow. She was a maker, crafting beads from bone and shell, threading them into necklaces that held stories of the river and the hunt. She was a teacher, guiding Siren to find edible roots and showing her how to twist grass into cord. And she was a dreamer, lying awake under the stars, wondering what lay beyond the valley, what spirits guided the river's path, what songs the wind carried from lands unseen. The seasons turned, each bringing its own rhythm. Spring meant new grasses and the birth of fawns, their wobbly legs a sign of hope. Lyrian and the women gathered tender shoots and wove baskets tight enough to hold water. Summer brought heat and long hunts, with Lyrian drying berries and meat under the sun's fierce gaze. Autumn painted the valley in gold, and the Sarathan moved camp to follow the herds, Lyrian carrying Siren on her hip as they walked, her songs keeping the children's spirits light. Winter was hardest, the cold biting, the game scarce. But Lyrian's fire burned bright, her stories warming the band as they huddled beneath hides, their breath a shared mist in the dark. Lyrian's life was not without loss. A fever took her mother years before, and a hunt claimed her uncle, his spear no match for a boar's charge. Yet the Sarathan endured, their bonds a net against grief. Lyrian found joy in the small things, Siren's first woven braid, Mara's shy smile when Torin offered her a carved flute, the way Vera's eyes crinkled when she laughed. She felt the land's pulse in her own veins, its spirits in her dreams. One night, under a moon full and bright, Lyrian led a ritual by the river, offering a necklace of shells to the water's spirit, asking for its strength to carry them through the dry months. The band joined her, their voices rising like smoke, a song of thanks for the river, the stars, the life they shared. The Sarathan left no grand ruins, no towering stones to mark their passing. Their homes of hide and wood returned to the earth, their tools scattered by time. But Lyrian's life, like those of the women before and after her, was a song that lingered in the valley's memory. She lived as her ancestors had, her hands shaping, her voice singing, her heart bound to the land and her people. When her time came, years later, she was laid to rest by the river, her beads and flute beside her, her body wrapped in a hide painted with stars. The Sarathans sang for her, their voices carrying her spirit to the sky, where she joined the dance of the ancestors. Today, the Varanthus Valley holds only whispers of Lyrian and the Sarathan. Archaeologists find their flint blades, their fire-cracked stones, their beads buried in the soil. Each fragment tells a story of a woman who lived with purpose, who wove her days into the fabric of her people, who sang to the stars and the river. Lyrian's life was small in the shadow of empires, yet vast in its quiet strength, a testament to the women of the ancient world who carried the fire, the songs, and the dreams that kept humanity alive. In the rustle of the valley's grasses, her lullaby still hums, a gentle reminder that even in a world untamed, a woman's heart can weave a home that endures.